In this lesson, we're looking at the near armbar from Kneeride. So there's two things that are going to be new here. One is the armbar itself. This is the near arm and the far arm, which we'll be attacking next. We're going to attack this arm, the near arm. But the Kneeride is also new, and it's a new position. Let's talk a little bit about that first. The points for the Kneeride, our checklist for our Kneeride are a few things. One, where is my knee? It's on the soft part of his stomach. I want to have my knee on his abs because I want to get the soft ride. If my knee's on his chest or on the xiphoid process here, I can injure him, but I'm also getting a rough ride. If my knee's up there, any bucking is efficiently transferred into me, I can be bucked off. If my knee's on his stomach here, I get a nice soft ride, so I want it to be across his stomach. My hands, this one is gripping just above his elbow because I want his elbow away from his body, so that's not as good up here because I just can't get the pull his elbow down. If I can get above the elbow, that's what that hand's doing. The other hand would be grabbing down here, near his leg. So at the end of the day, we've pretty much got straight arms, as if we're carrying 2 buckets of concrete. We wouldn't be carrying them like that. We'd be having our hands down, our shoulders locked back, and our chest out, so the weight is all being carried through the top part of my body like this. So that's what my hands are doing. One hand, 2 hand, buckets of concrete. All of my weight on the right leg and perfect posture. My head through to my knee is a straight line. This leg has no weight on it. It's virtually just an outrigger, so that when David moves around, I'm just following him or riding him. So the secret to the idea, or the secret to the technique, is in the name. It's a knee ride. So it's the ability to ride my partner as opposed to hold him there. If I've got too much weight on my left leg, then when he moves away, I'm effectively anchored at that point and won't be able to follow him. So get on the right knee. So it's a difficult and unusual position to start out practicing because you've got to commit to it. You can't half do a knee ride. You have to be either on the boat or on the dock. You can't have one foot in each place. The way to set it up is from side control. When I've got my partner here, I reach back, controlling his sleeve now. Fists on the ground. Tiny push up so that my knee comes through. So it's just worthwhile doing some of these to get the knee into position. Once my knee's there, up we come into good posture. If we've seen that we've been able to pull this elbow away from his body, then we can do the near armbar. The way to do it is, because we're thinking about squeezing our knees, remember that's one of our 4 points, this knee needs to go from down here to up there before we do it. Otherwise we flip this leg over, we get the armbar but we get a bad knee squeeze. So my first movement will be 1. It'll be from there to there. As my legs goes over, my knees are now squeezed and there's a point for my knee ride. So once again, side control, get the grip on his sleeve now, pop to the knee ride, check the elbows away from the body, up, over, back, claiming the arm for the near arm bar from the Kneeride.
So, just to add a couple things to that, let's have you down, John. One of the reasons that this is a great technique is because by picking him up on the side, it makes it very hard for him to turn towards me. One of his basic escapes would be to just turn towards me and move away. Now, I may come down onto side control, but he'd be escaping the pressure of the knee. So to whatever extent, I can always hold him up and lock it here so that he can't turn towards me. Even if I don't do the arm bar, it's a great way to hold the person and set up even other attacks. The other interesting thing about this particular arm bar that I'm sure you've noticed is this arm bar takes place with this leg not across his body, which is fine. What that means, though, is it's a challenge for my hip penetration. Remember, we need our hips in close. So people will tend to fall away too far because their own foot is pushing them away. And the way to avoid that is when you're up here, when you make the switch that John said, relax this leg, go dead. Just sit in as tight as you can so that even though your foot is stuffed in there, your hips are in close. Then you have everything you need to make the finish. If you need to, if the person is strong, maybe holding their arm, got it back, and you feel you want that foot on the other side, squeeze your knees, turn it this way, just snake that foot over, he doesn't even feel what happened, and then we can go here and begin to fight for the arm bar. So keeping in mind, you don't have to have the leg across the body to get an arm bar, but generally you do have to have the foot across the head.